Good evening, everyone. Welcome here to Rebels Radio, back for another season here at a fully completed Arbour Park. The managers are still just on the pitch at the moment, just conducting training, so they'll be up in a second. Thank you all for joining in. Rebels Radio will be back as usual throughout the season, giving you full commentary on all of the games, and we have a special announcement for the Hereford game. We'll tell you that now to get that one out of the way. Hereford have a large media area, but they also have a lot of people who broadcast the games live. So for the Hereford game, which was next Saturday, that's the 19th of August, we will be doing a joint broadcast via Hereford FC's radio. I will put those details out sooner in the day, but it's a free to use site. You don't have to pay anything to go on to this one. It's the same as us here at Rebels Radio. It's free for you to listen. You'll just have to log on to their website, and you click on the media section and it says Radio Hereford, and then it'll come up in the little bottom corner. There's a little play button, and they are on live on the 19th from 2:15. I'll be going on supporters coach, so I'll get there for whatever time, but I will be doing joint commentary with their main commentator. So rather than have two separate ones, we've decided that because of a tightness of space, what we're going to do is we're going to do a joint broadcast for that game. So that's the Hereford game on Saturday the 19th of August. It will be a joint broadcast, and I will, as usual, put those links out before the game. So that's something different to look forward to, and we'll see how it goes. We'll actually have a proper person doing some commentating. I believe that the guy that does it normally does stuff for 5 Live and stuff like that. So we'll be in high people's companies, proper professionals who actually know what they're actually doing, rather than just someone who's just got given it and carries on with it. This is Rebels Radio, but we are pleased to announce that we are again sponsored by our two sponsors for this upcoming season. They are going to be My Football Club, the online community, and also is Slough Town Supporters Trust, who again come over here, and they've helped out with the costs. We are looking at upgrading some of the bits for you. We may put an appeal out sometime soon. We've got Mr. Brinch from the Supporters Trust. But Mr. Brinch, would you like to give some Supporters Trust news as we're waiting for the managers to come? It should be on. Have a go.
Sure. Good evening, everyone.
It was a bit loud. You don't have to shout.
Sorry, not shouting.
I'll turn you down a bit. It's a bit. There you go. So, Dan, have you got any trust news for the people who are listening? There's obviously going to be 2 coaches going to Gosport and Hereford, and some other bits that you've got for us.
Yes, the 2 coaches to Gosport and Hereford. Gosport coach leaves at 5 o'clock from St Joseph's School on Tuesday evening, and the Hereford coach leaves at 11 o'clock on next Saturday, the 19th, also from St Joseph's School. And we need as much support as possible. These coaches only run based on demand, so we need people to make sure they turn up. So if you want to book your place, you can book your place at the Kettering game on Saturday, or you can get in touch with Alan Harding, and all the details are on our website.
Have you got a price for the 2 games?
Not just yet, no. Well, hopefully we'll have it by Saturday.
Okie dokie, cool. And anything else from the Trust and with what you've been promoting recently?
Yes, we attended the Slough Play Day, the ill-fated Slough Play Day in Salt Hill Park on Wednesday last week, where it was unfortunately rained off halfway through the event. Chucked it down for the entirety of the first 2 hours, and they abandoned it due to adverse weather. However, we did manage to make 50 quid for the junior teams in those 2 hours, so can't complain. And thank you to all our volunteers, and particularly the under-15s boys who turned up to be our volunteer goalkeepers for our Beat the Keeper game. Very grateful to them for their enthusiasm and for standing in the rain playing football. We've also been busy this summer. The Trust has agreed, in case you haven't seen, a £2,500 financial package for the club, which includes the payment for this season's Trust advertising board at Arbour Park. We have also purchased a £1,000 card printing machine. So those of you that have got season tickets and Trust membership cards will see those first cards coming out of production from our new printing machine. This will mean that the Trust will be covering the cost of the printing of the season tickets as well as our own Trust cards, saving the club some money in the long term. And we've also donated £500 to St Joseph's School to help pay for a pathway between the St Joseph's car park and the Arbour Park facility.
which I believe will be tarmacked sometime soon in August.
Yes,
I do
so
believe.
I hear.
Yes, I do believe that. Yes, and thank you very much for Dan and the Supporters Trust for your continued support of Rebels Radio, and also to MyFC who have done so well. We're actually, for the first time, this is going to be our new position for the season. So before we were on that far side, I don't know if you remember, on the east stand there was 4 little wooden plimps that was used for the press area. We've got the little bit high above as you come out of that main stand on the west side now, and the top bit you see there's a little bit that's glassed off. We are going to be doing that, and we will let you know that FC Video are filming home games this season. They'll also be doing, where applicable, some cup games as well. So what FC Video are going to be doing is they are going to be integrating, as I use that long word there, integrating our commentary here on Rebels Radio to the highlights package. So I believe that the highlights package will come out mostly on the late Sunday, Monday. It depends on, they do 5 other teams, so it's totally dependent on how busy they are, but they will be integrating the commentary here as onto their highlights packages, so you can't escape the voice of Rebels Radio, I'm afraid. But Dan, you've seen the teams. As we're still just waiting for the managers to come up. I think they're just trying to hide from us. You've seen them over the pre-season. What have your opinions been?
I've been very impressed. It's been a great pre-season, one of the best that I can remember in terms of the quality of the fixtures and the quality of the football. In all the games we've shown some great quality passing. The team seems to be gelling well. Looking forward to the big game on Saturday, and it should be hopefully a very promising season with the players that we've retained from last season and the players that have come in, and hopefully continue to gel well together and play some great passing football here at Arbour Park. Obviously it remains to be seen how we'll deal with the muddy pitches of January and February, but we'll cross that when we come to it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough season. I'm just going to try and see if I can grab Mr. Porter's attention, the general manager, because I wanted to know if we're allowed to announce how many season tickets we've sold.
While you do that, we'll just go a quick trust one, if you don't mind.
You do a quick trust run.
In case you haven't seen, we are offering free junior membership when you sign up an adult with the trust at the same time. So if you haven't yet signed up for the trust, you can get a junior membership for free for a child. When you sign up, the adult is just £10. Additional juniors are just £5. We're looking to get more juniors on board. They are the future of the club. We need to get them involved. They do get birthday cards. They get Christmas present, Easter egg from the trust, as well as there is of course the excellent Junior Rebels package that is run separately by the club. But we are looking to get more junior trust members on board on the trust, as well as more members. We are looking to beat 145, which was how many we got last year, and we are currently on around 110, 111. So we are making great progress, considering this time last year we were on about 40. So the pre-season home games have been very beneficial to us in terms of renewals, and we're hoping to beat the 145 we had last season.
Yeah, and just on the season tickets are still available. They are now at the higher price. You did need to buy them before the 31st of July. And just a reminder that the kids programme that we've got, the Junior Rebels, is for now £35. You get full season ticket for all the league home games. Do you have to pay for cup games, unfortunately, but as a junior rebel, so that's 5 to 15, you will also get a replica shirt. You can choose a home shirt or an away shirt, and you will also get a letter from the management. You can have a photo of your favourite player in action, and there's also a birthday card and a Christmas card. So if you have got any youngsters aged between the ages of 5 and 15 and you haven't bought them a season ticket yet, maybe buy them a season ticket so they get a lovely shirt, and you can come down on your times there. So we're just waiting here because we've got some potential sponsors here just walking past. We'll let them go past out of their way, and are we allowed to announce what you are, Mr. House? Are we allowed to announce what you are? I don't think we are we? Okay, we're not going to announce what Gary House is, apart from the club photographer.
So, Horsham Rebel Photography, a long-term sponsor, Gary House. You'll see him by the side of the pitch at pretty much every match. He's now, as of the 1st of August, it's Gary House Photography. You'll see his advertising board over on the far side. You would have seen that at the last game if you were here for the West Brom fixture. And so if you want to see Gary's photos, you need to go to his new Twitter page, which is Gary House Photo. Yeah, at Gary House Photo is the one you need to go to. And there's also a similar Facebook page. His photos will be on there rather than on his old Horsham Rebel account. And we're very grateful to Gary for his continued support, not just for the club, but for the trust as well. He is one of our board members.
Yes, we're still waiting for Bakes and Unders. They're just sitting below our a lovely new position here. We've got a good view here of the. If you've not been to the completed Arbour Park, it's looking good. Gary's trying to steal my phone for some reason. I don't know why. He's going to try and take a photo of something. Oh, okay. Here we go. I'm giving him the keys to my phone here. This could be dangerous.
As long as you haven't got anything dodgy on there.
Well, I'm just worried about who's going to be phoning. So just if your phone rings in the next couple of seconds, please be aware. It might not be me. It could be Gary House just playing up there. We're just seeing Sean Fraser finish emphatically from 30 yards there, although it was against Trent in goal. So that's not really much to get too excited about. So we are still waiting for the managers to come up. They are just training started a little bit late today because there was a photo session where there was a team photo done. So but we are just a little bit behind, but we'll try and give you some information. I don't know what Gary's doing. He's fiddling around, breaking stuff. He wants me to put something on Twitter, as if I would know how to do that. We'll give this a go. Twitter, where's that? There you go, Twitter. If only we're putting a photo on, I'm just going to put a photo on. I don't know what he's taking a photo of, so there you go. Maybe our position, there you go. I don't even know if I've done that. If you're on Twitter, you've got something that says a photo, then that's great. So yes, and there's good shot there. We just won't say who that was because it went over the top of the bar. But we are just waiting patiently for the managers to come up, but you can still get your questions in to us here. If you are on Twitter, it's at MyFC Rebels Radio, and if you want to send us a message or just tweet out a question and just add MyFC Rebels Radio in, we'll see that we've got a few pages of stuff for the guys to go through, but at the moment they seem to be quite intent on watching the players just downstairs at the moment, and we're getting accosted by council officials. Your Wi-Fi is rubbish. I've had to use my own. I'm telling you now. This place is going downhill. But there you go. So we are just waiting for the managers dressed in their lovely new training kit, sponsored by Segro. And we're just watching a little bit of action here. So it's a little bit later than we'd planned. And we'll just have to wait for them to come around. Everyone's just sitting here really waiting for the joint managers.
This is the true test of how well you can keep talking. Or
I can talk rubbish for ages. Don't you worry about that. So, like I say, so yes, just in case of that you are a little bit late on here, just to let you know that Hereford on the 19th of August will be a joint broadcast with Radio Hereford FC, and we will put those details up there. Otherwise, we've got the away game at Gosport. We've never been there before, so we're not sure what the situation is with how we will broadcast from there. But we'll come to that one after we get Saturday's game against Kettering out of the way. Kettering are the first club here this season, and Slough going to have a tough run of fixtures in this first month of football. We're just... who's that? Was that Fraser? It was, wasn't it? Yeah. It's lucky that goal is on the halfway line, I can tell you that. So, yeah, we're just going to whitter on for a few minutes. The training has just overrun a little bit here. Just we have to be out of here by 9, so I hope they're coming up soon. Because otherwise,
hopefully, maybe they're just playing for time.
Yeah, I just don't want to answer your questions, so that's mostly what it is. I should throw something at them, shouldn't I, just to get their attention, just to see if they'll come up. So yeah, so we've had that from us. That we are on the lookout. We are on the lookout for any of you, anyone out there who has a second-hand laptop, preferably not as old as the one that we're currently using. We are going to be looking for if anyone has a laptop that's around about 18 months old that works and stuff, and if anyone's got one that they no longer use or know where to get a fairly cheap one, they could tweet us and let us know. And we are looking to just upgrade our equipment at the cheapest possible way. So that's kind of free in theory, and that's what we would really like. So just if you are listening and you know anything about computers, or you know someone who has loads, that sounds really dodgy. If you know someone who's got loads of computers going cheap, that wasn't what we actually meant.
Ones that have fallen off the back of a lorry or something.
No,
like
we
that.
don't want any of those. Glenn's just tweeted in. He must be waiting expectantly for me to ask the questions that he tweeted in earlier. Yes, apparently the little bit, for those of you who've not been to Arbour Park in the West Stand, there is a little section above the tunnel, and FC Video have used from there for the West Brom game, and they said that they're quite happy for us to sit next to them and witter on, and hopefully it won't ruin their film. And I think they're going to turn off the sound, and then there's a way of downloading the clips from our commentary. But as far as we know, this will be our permanent base. I'm sure that some people will moan because they can't get a clear view of some of the bits here, but we don't take up that much room. I am a little bit portly after the summer, but there you go. We'll see what they're doing. We're still just waiting for the managers just to pop up here, and they're just keeping an eye on training at the moment. We could just describe the training, but that'd be really, really boring. And then everyone would turn off if they haven't already.
Get yourself some practice in.
Yeah, well, it looks like it could be an interesting season.
Oh, that's a lovely touch. That is Manny Williams.
We hope that that's going to be okay. So we've got. We're just trying to keep an eye on what's going on and keep our eye on the managers as well, just to see what's going on. If you do want to tweet any questions, it's at MyFC Rebels Radio. As we're just.
I can give you a little sneak peek of what we've just been doing, actually.
Can you? Pardon?
We have just been down in what was previously the boardroom last season, putting together some furniture for the new club shop.
The new club shop is, for those of you who weren't aware, last season where the T-bar and bar is now just a T-bar. Then there was a little room which we were using as a boardroom. That is now going to be the new club shop. And what have you put in there today then?
Well, I hear they've been raiding the old M&S store that's recently closed in the centre of Slough.
Why is it this broadcast sounding like it's a knockoff from something? We've got knockoff computers that we're asking for, and now knockoff stuff from Marks and Spencer's. It's not.
Well, you have to do what you have to do when you volunteers, you know. Non-league and all that. Yes, we've been assembling a shelving unit, and there are some units for hanging clothes and things like that. And Sue will have a permanent base of club shop in the new facility here at Arbour Park.
Yeah, we'll just.
It needs a bit of a spit and polish here and there, but it will look very good once all of her merchandise for the club is put in there on Saturday.
Yeah, and it's a bit silly to say, but the pitch is looking absolutely fantastic.
Of course it is.
Flat as a
it looks exactly the same as it did this time last season, yeah.
But if you are interested in any sponsorship opportunities here at Slough Town Football Club, you can come through and look onto. There's a big sponsorship package now on the Slough Town FC website. And for instance, we've got a number of advertising boards up that you see around the ground. We've got some new ones from Shanley Homes and also Segro. We've also had a new one from obviously Gary House Photography. And there's Print, OMM Print, and Stewart's, who are the coach company. And there's another one there for GPA, but I can't read what it says on it, unfortunately. So, yes, you can get boards here. There's also program sponsorship as well. So, if anyone is interested in that. What? Oh, I thought he was talking about someone else. But you can get different sized adverts in the program, and I believe there will be a few changes to how the program will look in the up and coming months. So keep your eyes out for that. We've still got no idea of what Bakes and Unders are doing there. They seem to be enjoying themselves too much.
They do. It's a good sign, isn't it?
It's a very good sign. It's not a very good sign for all these people waiting to hear their questions being read out, but there you go. Well, nothing
We-
we can.
Another one, actually, from the trust point of view, talking with sponsorship, we're also offering some sort of corporate membership of the trust for this season. At just £50 for the season for a business, we will promote your business on our website. We're working on one at the moment, and hopefully we'll be able to announce that in due course once all the required paperwork goes through. And you can join your business as part of the Southtown Supporters Trust in exchange for some merchandise advertising on the website, southtownsupporterstrust.co.uk. And also, don't forget, talking about earlier about coaches, all trust members get £5 off on the coach, and junior trust members, I keep getting the two confused, junior trust members travel on the coach for just £5. So there's plenty to spend your money on this season, both for club and trust. So
Don't
forget that the trust is there to help the club. So the stronger the trust is, the more we can do for the club and also for the local community in terms of events and charity. We are involved with the Slough Barrel Roll later this month. There'll be more details about that on our website soon, as we're arranging a few things on the match day before. So we'll be passing on some more information about that and how you can offer your support to this event.
Cool. We were just having a look at Twitter, and it's not something from us, but for Hayes and Yedding, they're very pleased that they've been given the safety certificate for their ground, so they can move back to their ground. Obviously, a season later than they'd planned, but and obviously a division lower than they were planning to be in. But it's good news that a local club manages to get back into a ground which they fully deserve, and we wish them all the very best for the season. As we're just still just watching as some of the players are just doing that. It's a shame that the bar's not open. We could have just sneaked in and got a beer, to be honest. But better not say that because we'll get in trouble for doing that anyway. But there you go. So if you are coming,
It's all right. I can assure you that Adrian does not drink before a broadcast. Many times we could have offered him a pint before the game, and he has turned it down out of professionalism.
Maybe I think what we should do is offer me more pints during the game, and then hopefully the commentary might get a little bit better.
Maybe we need to pick one match and just get you absolutely plastered and see how it goes. How's that sound?
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it'll be the Hereford one, unfortunately. As that's very professional sound. So yeah,
we could have the Rebels Radio drinking game. What do you think?
What's that?
Drink along with Rebels Radio. I'm sure we could come up with something. Either we get you the drinks, or
are you ball boy tonight, Gary? There's one gone over the top. Just says we won't say who that was again. He took that shot, but it might have been Sean Fraser. We're just going to see if.
I'm assured he used to score a lot of goals from midfield when he was at Falkirk and Coventry.
That is the rumoured. These shooting maybe doesn't express that, but we'll see how it goes, and just waiting. So we're still waiting. If you still want to put a question in towards the manager, I hope they're going to come up sometime today, or otherwise this could be a very long and boring broadcast. Mind you, they normally are anyway. So it's there you go. But Kettering is the first game of the season for some of you fans who are on the fans forum. There is it's not a competition as such, but there is, I guess, the attendance figure for the Kettering game. But we are still on the summer holidays, aren't we? So it's not going to be as many as maybe you'd normally get. But you'd like to hazard a guess at how many you think are going to turn up on Saturday?
No, I don't know. I reckon people will be
itching
to get down here.
Not hitching, but
itching to get down here on Saturday.
So
particularly those who haven't been here before.
Give us a figure then. Come on then. Don't sit on the fence.
Well, last year we were on about 620 something, wasn't it? On average.
Something like that.
So yeah, I'm going to say around 700. I'm going to be optimistic.
Optimistic.
I know it's unusual, but I'm going to be optimistic.
I'm going to go a little bit higher. I think it's going to be about 800, but there you go.
Well, Kettering are fairly well supported on the road, so that wouldn't surprise me if it was a bit higher.
Yeah, and just so you know, some of the new clubs into the Southern Premier this year. Coming down is Gosport Borough, which we go to. That's the first away game on Tuesday, so they're new to the league. Then Hereford, obviously, is the Saturday after, on the 19th. They've come up, obviously, from the which is used to be called the Southwest League, but is now just called the Evo-Stick West League. It's very confusing. And then you've got coming up from them are Tiverton. They came up from the West League, and then coming up from the East League, which used to be the Central League, is Royston and Farnborough. Farnborough we are away to on the bank holiday Monday, the 28th of August, I do believe that is. And then also coming down is Bishop Stortford, who have come across down from the Conference South, and I think they'll be interesting to see. I think they're expected to be in the Ryman Premier.
Yes, they were planning on that, yes.
I think that's all indicate. They're just the players are just going through with the managers some practice at shooting. And do you think they've forgotten that they were supposed to be up here?
I think quite possible. Either accidentally or on purpose.
Just purposely just try not to answer any of your questions. And we have got quite a few questions for them to answer, but there you go. We'll see how. We'll have to just rifle through it. Could rifle through.
Quick fire answers.
Yeah, we could do that way. That could be an easier way of doing it.
There will be some interesting things in the league this year. I believe there's only one team going down from this level in each league.
There is. This season
they are reshuffling for next season.
Yeah, at the end of this current season, there will be 4 feeder teams into the Conference North and South. So you'll have what is going to be commonly known as the Midland League. It will be run by the Southern League, as in that they will be doing the administration side.
I believe the Southern League are running the Premier Division of this league, and the Ryman League, what used to be the Ryman League, now the Bostik League, I believe, they're running the Division 1 of that league as well, so they're splitting the administration between them.
Yeah, we're just waiting for our joint managers, just having a little conflab with...
I think they're having a little practice on set pieces.
We've got some set piece action here, just...
don't give it away.
We're trying not to give it away. So poor old Trent Phillips has been...
He's working really hard to push that goal by himself.
For those of you, the goals, obviously, the main goals behind that are on the main goals, they pushed into the halfway line just for training purposes, and poor old Trent is on his own pushing that goal all the way back. And I can tell you that it's hard enough just to push the small goals on your own, let alone to push the big goals. But poor old Trent has been left to do that on his own, and he's doing a manful job, even if it is taking him quite a while. See how no one comes. Even Mark Hunter doesn't go and help, does he? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, we didn't realise that training would overrun this far. So please do bear with us. We will get round to some of your questions at some stage, and they're just working on a corner routine here at the moment, and we're just watching that for a minute. But yeah, you can still get your questions in on Twitter. It's at MyFC Rebels Radio, and we're just literally waiting for a bit of just killing a bit of time. We could start singing. Anyone got any requests? We could do some singing, bit of karaoke for you, and we'll see what goes on. Just trying to have a look through just to see if there's anything else coming through on Twitter.
I did get on one of the Southern League Facebook pages, there was a prediction for next season's leagues. I saw it has the Rebels in the Southern League, with a lot of the teams from the Southern League and the sort of southern end of the Northern Premier League moved into a Central Football League Premier. Slough left in the Southern Football League, along with most of the teams from sort of Hampshire and the West Country, but also teams from West London, Dorking, Harrow, Hayes, assuming they come back up. That was an assumption made in the predictions. The likes of Hendon and Leatherhead, Kingstonian and Metropolitan Police, Staines and Worthing. So it's that sort of league stretching from West London across the south and southwest. So it'd be quite interesting to see how they form these leagues, because there's always a few people who are left upset. But there is an interesting potential for the leagues next season. Of course, we will be hoping that we'll be playing in a different league next season, but that remains to be seen, of course.
Yeah, we're just still waiting. There's some
Still waiting.
just some free kick routines just being run through here. So apologies that we haven't got the managers when we want. Just if you are interested in the Carabao Cup, that is the proper name of a competition. It's the Carabao Cup. It's Bury 0, Sunderland 0. That's must be about as interesting as this has been tonight. And we are just waiting for the managers still to pop along and come in. But not a lot we can do for at the moment. We're just going to sit there and just see what we can do.
We need to warm up your vocal cords, ready for the new season. Bit of pre-season training for you.
Yeah, just a little, but so we're just going to slump down and just relax and chill. Here, Trent has managed to get the goal back into its rightful position on its own, and he really should get a round of applause as he comes off. But we've only got one hand free, so it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. So there you go. I got a funny feeling that our managers are just ignoring us tonight. I did chat to them earlier on in the day, but what? I don't know if we're allowed to say anything about that. It's very hush, 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 hush. It's just running from a few bits here. Just it's not the most interesting bit at the moment. We could have come on at 8:30, couldn't we?
Could have done, yeah.
Could have just done it at 8:30. And so what's today? Thursday. It's only EastEnders, isn't it? So
there's not much on telly.
No one's going to worry about
anyone
EastEnders.
watching Sunderland against Bury. I think that's the only game on tonight.
Yep. So we're just waiting. I've got a funny feeling that by the time they get here, it's going to be time to go home because we're going to get kicked out at 9 o'clock. So we'll see how it goes. But no sign of our managers at the moment. They're still just. Oof.
How's he missed that?
But we're just waiting here. It's just.
Neil Baker seems to have moved as far away from you as physically possible.
I think they have, haven't
He's
they?
gone right over to the far corner. He's talking to Lynch and Manny, is it?
You shouldn't really
Taking
say.
corners.
An opposing manager who might still be listening might just be looking and
true.
going, ooh, that's what they're doing for the corner. That's why we're not going to tell you what's going on at the moment. Just in case.
Neil Baker is over there. He's moved as far away from Adrian as possible, so that's probably what he's trying to do.
I know. I think
Keep
it's because I did tell them I had lots of questions for them earlier, and they've kind of hidden and gone away. So, but it's the last training session before the big kick-off on Saturday. So,
well, they are incredibly open in terms of their interaction on Twitter and
the forum,
and all the interviews and things like that on with John. So you can't really complain about the openness of the managers where they can be.
Another ball out. Where's Mr. House when you need him? Ball over the top.
He's talking down there next to the dugouts.
Oh yeah, who's that to? Ask Mike. Well, you're leaving me as well now, so no, I'm just going to be stuck on my own. It's just stuck on my own. So I don't know what else to do really, but just sitting here waiting for our managers just to come up and pop up and say hello. They're just going through a few little bits here. So just to reiterate some of those bits from Dan, he's just going to see if he can give out some more news from the Supporters Trust. And we'll see if we can get the council people just stay on a little bit longer. So didn't realise it was going to run over this far, but like I say, our apologies. Hopefully they will be back on very soon. And just looking at some of what they're doing through, and we don't want to give too much away at all. So just for anyone else who's interested, we are looking for a second-hand laptop, preferably one that works would be good. The current one we've got is about 4.5 years old, and it's got a little mouse inside running around keeping it going. So we are looking for one of those. If someone knows where they can get one fairly cheap that's working and is a fairly decent model, or has a second-hand one that they've just bought a new one and want to get rid of one, we'd be grateful to have those. If anyone wanted to get in contact, just tweet us at MyFC Rebels Radio, and we'll get in contact with you. Just send a message through, and we'll see how it goes. We're still just waiting for some the managers to pop over and run through. So, not the most interesting thing at the moment. I'm sure it will get better. We have lots of questions from lots of people here, just waiting to see what goes on. And we've just trying to see if there's anyone else we can grab to have a little chat with, but everyone seems to have gone home and turned the lights out. But we shall get there. We shall get there sooner or later. So we're just waiting to see what goes on with these bits. I'm just wondering if they're going to carry on till 9 o'clock and then come over, and there you go. That would be fairly interesting. So we won't give you any details of what's going on over there, but we're just killing a little bit of time just here tonight. I could do some requests in what would you like me to? What would people like me to sing tonight? I could murder several tunes quite easily for you. I was just wondering if everyone is going home. I think almost everyone's gone home. Oof. Oh dear. Someone else better get that ball as well. I won't say who that was. And still just waiting here and just hoping that they remembered that we're here and they are going to pop across. And just patiently watching some corner routines go through. And still going on. So we're just killing a little bit of time. So if you are listening, you still do want to get a question in, you can tweet us at MyFC Rebels Radio, and we'll still give it a shout out and see how it goes. And just keeping our eye on a few bits. Looks like they're just going to have a bit of a chat at the moment. So we'll see what's going to, see if they're going to pop across and go on. It's going to have to turn the lights on in a minute. It's getting that dark. So we're just going to wait to see. I think they're just going to conclude training here now. They're just having a little bit of a conversation, and hopefully our joint managers will be up here to come and answer your questions, hopefully. And yeah, I think that is the end of training. So we're just going to wait for the managers to pop up and come up and say hello and join us here in the position. As the players just go off. You might just we will apologise in case you do hear any language as the players come through. They've been having an enjoyable training session here. So we're just waiting for Bakes and Unders to make their way up the stairs, and we'll go through your questions. Looks like everyone's here for training tonight, so we're just waiting for them to pop up the stairs, and looks like they're on their way up at the moment. So we'll see. Just a couple of players just hanging around. I think they're just trying to pretend, oh, what's going on? They just, they're almost making their way up here. They're just going into the changing rooms for a second. And hopefully they'll be up with us here very shortly. So, there you go. We've just so for first time, I hope someone's gone and got the footballs that have been kicked out. And Arbor Park looking very resplendent when it's quiet and just the floodlights on here. So we're just gonna wait for the two guys just to finish having a conversation with the players quickly, and then they'll be up in a minute. There's a couple of players just staying behind just to have a bit of a practice, and just hope that the council don't turn the floodlights off, or we'll be in trouble because we won't be able to see anything. But there you go. So just hanging on. So you've still got time to get a question in if you do want to. Tweet us at MyFC Rebels Radio, and I still have time just to put a question to the joint managers. It's going to be making their way up. I think they're milking it. That's what it is. They're just milking the attention, just making you all wait a little bit longer to come along. So it should be up in a second. Oh, they've just turned the lights off. So it's going to be difficult to see, but we'll give it a go, hopefully. Just to see if we can get them on, or just getting Christmas cards. So just wait now, and hopefully they'll be on their way up at the moment. Just I can just see them down at the bottom of the steps, and hopefully they'll be on their way. Just luckily it's quite nice here. They've left one floodlight on just so we can actually see what's going on. I'm gonna have to get my phone out just to get to see what it says on the questions. But they are just going to come up here very shortly, and we shall be underway with everything that we want. Hopefully, just chatting away at the bottom. So just carry on making yourselves a cup of tea, and we'll see how it goes. So we're just waiting away. And just, if anyone is making a cup of tea, I have one sugar quite strong. That'd be great. It's, the last of the players just starting to leave the pitch. So we just hope that the nice councilmen let us stay here a little bit longer, as we're just still waiting for Bakes and Unders to join us up here. And see how it goes. I should be up any second now. So just waiting for them just to clear up the last of the footballs. Cool, they're just going to be up in a couple of seconds. They've just said that, so we'll just grill them gently here for the rest of the evening. It was a little bit windy earlier, but I'll just make sure there's no other questions just come in, and hopefully we can get on with what's going on. So we're just waiting just for Mr. Baker to come across. So should be here any second now. It's like waiting for a bus, isn't it? It should have a kind of timetable. I should do some jokes. I could do a joke for you. I could just do a joke for you while we're waiting. I spoke to my mate the other week about whether he liked Bucks Fizz, the group, or not, and he said to me he was still making his mind up. I mean, come on! It just came to me. Come on! That was just a quick thinking joke there. You right? Yeah, we might be a little bit late. Yeah, only about 5-10 minutes. You right? Yeah. Cool. That was great. Councilman's a really nice man. We like the council people here. They're good. They're good guys. They've. Yeah, you can shut it. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we'll just go downstairs or whatever. You lock up down here. So they just allowed us to go on. It's a little bit dark here, but we'll see if we can get something up. And we're just literally waiting for them to come upstairs at this moment. So I'm trying to think of any clean jokes that I could give you, but I don't really want to do that at the moment. So normally we would have a pop-up chat thing on the thing, but unfortunately we haven't got that going today. It's a new thing on the computer, and it's not taking it the best at the moment. So we'll just going to see, just chatting to one of the Slough players, and hopefully they'll be upstairs in a second. Here's a lovely, nice evening. It's been terrible these last few home friendlies, where it's been pouring down with rain and getting absolutely soaked. It's a lovely evening here today at Arbour Park. So, if you are still, there's apologies that we were a little bit later than we had hoped for, but they've just assured me they are going to pop up the stairs in a second. They're just having a chat with one of the players. And we'll see how it goes. So they have said they're on the way up, so hopefully we'll still be on. Hopefully that everything works and we don't run out of the internet or anything like that. That would be fun. So we're just waiting for the joint managers to pop up the stairs in a second. And just killing a little bit of time here. We are still on there. Don't worry, we've not gone anywhere. We are still here. Just waiting for the guys to pop up. So again, our apologies. It's taken a little bit longer than we thought. Didn't think training went on this long. It normally goes on this long. That's just because it's the last one. But here we go. I can hear them coming up the stairs now. So it looks like they're coming to join us. I've been talking to but I don't even think anyone's listening. Good evening. Good evening, Neil. Good evening, John. I've only got one microphone, so you're going to have to share it. But if you
Good evening.
Yeah, you can. You go on and see it going and pass it to John, just so I can get a sound check.
Hello.
Yeah, that's fine. Excellent. How are you both?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, excited. Looking forward to Saturday now.
Yes, it's been a fairly good pre-season for you. Injury-wise, you're pretty clear now that Incy's back, and it's just Jukes and Mark Scott who are the only real concerns.
Yeah, obviously Jilksy and Scotty we've known about for quite some time. They were never going to be fit for the start of the season, so it's quite nice. We were talking in the car. It's quite nice to be going into the season without any injuries at all, really. We don't know whether it's the training we've done. We haven't been quite as hard on them, but it's fantastic, really.
I think, to be honest, the players came back really fit, which meant we didn't have to kind of really overwork them. We were able to do a lot of football. Their fitness levels were good already, so I think you sometimes get injuries in pre-season when you maybe overtrain a bit, and because the players aren't fit, you then overtrain them, and then they pick up little strains. And the one injury he had that was Inzy was an impact one. It's just one of those things, and as you said, he's back now. So there's a bit of luck involved with injuries. There always is, but I'd like to think a little bit as well in terms of what the players put in before they came back, and the way that we've not killed them. Basically, they've worked hard, but it's been a lot of it with the football, and we've looked after them a little bit in pre-season, and I think fitness levels aren't a problem. The lads are looking really fit.
Yeah, I mean we've seen that. If you've seen the pre-season friendlies, you've given all some good minutes, and from what I've seen, the only one I didn't go to was Tonbridge. It looks like everyone's actually not only fit, but they're all playing well as well. They seem to be enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean that makes our job very hard, because we've got 18 very good players who are looking for 11 shirts. So it's a sort of decisions that you want as a manager. You don't want to be knowing your side week in, week out, and this is my best 11. We've got 18 players. We said it tonight. We've got 18 players that could quite conceivably start a game. And I think if we're going to have a go at it this year, you need that.
Yeah,
I think the great thing in pre-season is we've mixed it up lots. We've looked at players in different positions. We've looked at different formations. from a manager's point of view, everything we've kind of thrown at them, they've dealt with and done really well. We've had a real mixture of games, higher level and lower level. And you normally have a bad night or two in pre-season, and we haven't. We've had a great campaign, and but I don't think we're overconfident, or we don't think I think we're just confident. I think that the lads are playing well, they're fit, and the new lads have gelled really well. So I think there's just a confidence around the place.
Yeah, talking about the new lads, you got them in quite early. Was that a conscious decision you made after the playoff final? You looked at where you needed to strengthen. Did you have those 5 people in mind, or was it that you knew they might be available?
Yeah, well, we had I think we pretty much had 5 or 6, I think 6 targets pre-season. We made decisions early. I think we probably made our decisions before the end of the season on who we wanted to stay and who we were going to let go. And we had an idea of what we felt we needed, where we felt short or fell short back end of the season, and we were quick to speak to the guys, speak to the lads, and get them in really. And we got 5 out of our 6 targets. We lost one that we thought we might have got, but didn't quite happen. But other than that, we got 5 from 6. So we were delighted. And
to retain all the players that we wanted to retain, and then you get 5 out of 6 targets is I think most managers would settle for that pre-season. I think we probably said it before. I think the one that wasn't on the list, if you like, was Lenchi, and not because we didn't rate him. Quite the opposite. We just didn't think we'd get him, and that one came about a little bit later, didn't it? And we had to wait for that one. But that's a great signing. But certainly the other 4 lads were on the list at the beginning of May.
It's going to be a tough season ahead. I made a list of 12 sides, including Slough, that I think would be pretty close to the playoff positions. That didn't include the new clubs like Tiverton, Bishop Stortford or Gosport, because you're not going to. I didn't even put Chesham in. This is mostly going to be the toughest time to get out of this league, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I had a brief conversation with Berkey, the Hitchin manager, back end of the season, once we knew what was coming into the league, and we both said that the league is, you look at it and you look at some of the sides in it. There's some bigger sides in our league than there potentially is in the Conference South. There's some well-established non-league clubs, and we know it's going to be very tough this year, and but we feel that we're strong and we've got as much of a chance as anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe some of the sides last season that wanted to challenge would expect to challenge at the size of club they are, like a Weymouth, a Kettering, a Kings Lynn. They're 3 off the top of my head that are, they are big clubs. They're big clubs at this level, and I think all 3 of them will be better this year than they were last year. So you add into that obviously Hereford and
Farnborough,
Hitchin and Merthyr,
Royston,
Farnborough, Royston. So there's some well-backed clubs and there's some big clubs. So yeah, we're under no illusions. It's a tough season, but we, as we've said, got a lot of confidence in the squad that we've got. I think we'll have a good year.
Yeah, a couple of surprise teams came through last season, like Banbury and Frome. Maybe teams that you maybe looked at and weren't too sure about, but it looks as though a lot of those teams, especially like Royston, getting the guy from Lincoln City, there's a lot of strong teams spending a lot of money. Do you worry about it? Do you just go, look, we are whatever, and we take each game as it comes?
No, absolutely, and we feel that we've put a decent side together here, as does Mike Ford at Banbury, as does Josh Jeffries at Frome, and you can go through it. As he said, it's probably going to be one of the toughest years to date. The likes of Banbury, they were consistent back in the season, didn't concede many goals. They've kept what they pretty much wanted. I think they may have lost one of their players. Frome the same. They were dogged, hard to beat. You can go on, and you like see your Biggleswades. Always tough to beat. And listen, we're under no illusion that it's not going to be that it's going to be an easy season, because it's definitely not. People will come here and want to play here. The stadium's now fantastic, and I'm sure people will be really up for it when they do come here.
Yeah, John, you was in the press the other day talking about needing to make Arbour Park a fortress.
Yeah.
Not only though by the players, you need the fans to get behind the team as well. And I know sometimes when I've sat across, and I've sat down and I'm thinking, there are moments in the game where you could really just do with the fans behind the goal, just picking up on the fact that there's maybe a little dip or you need a boost.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
obviously you're not going to signal and wave at them and go, "Come on, boys, get your voices in." But they do play an important part, don't they?
They do, and I think it gives everyone a lift when the supporters start singing and they get behind us. And probably had a few games second half of last season when we weren't doing so well that it kind of went the other way a little bit and felt like one or two players were maybe getting a bit criticised, and in one or two games in particular, but they make such a difference when they do get behind us. And generally when we go away, I mean the support's fantastic away. They make good noise. I just think, but I think it's no different here to any other. There's so many. It seems to be a thing in football. You go away, maybe it's a few beers on the coach or the train, but when they come here, I mean, of course they can come and have a few beers here, but it just doesn't seem. It doesn't seem quite the same. But if we can get that, that'd be fantastic.
I think you find that you often have volunteers who are normally quite vocal on away games who are having to do jobs and things like that around the ground and stuff like that. So that obviously affects it. There's a great bunch behind the goal, and John's right. And yourself. At times when there may be there is that little bit of a lull, just get behind them and a few little songs, and it just lifts everyone, and it's a great place to be when this place is buzzing.
Yeah, we've got a couple of people have asked some very specific questions. Mark Nisbet was in the press saying automatic promotion is the goal. Is that the same for you too? You solely want automatic promotion, or
has to be the target? But we're not alone in that target. I think there'll be a number of other clubs. Maybe not. I know you said about Lister 12, and I think you're probably not far off in terms of who could get in the playoffs. I think maybe. I'm not so sure there's maybe 12 that could win the league. I think there's maybe a slightly smaller number. But we'd put ourselves in that category, without being over ambitious or big headed or anything like that. We had a great season last season. We did fall away towards the end of the season, and we kind of feel like we know some of the reasons for that. We can put that right. We have to, generally you go into a season and your aim has to be to try and win that league. And sometimes that's not realistic. I think it's a realistic ambition to have, given that the playoffs are so tough. One team out of 4 goes through. Of course, you want to try and avoid that scenario because it's very difficult when you get in the playoffs to get promoted that way. So, but there's other very big clubs like ourselves that have got that same ambition, and we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I mean, one of the questions that we had was, you had a choice between automatic promotion or a third round FA Cup tie away to one of the top 6 live on TV. What do you take?
Both. No, promotion all day long. If you offered me now promotion to the Conference South, having won the league, versus but to achieve that we've got to go out in the first qualifying round of the FA Cup. I'd take that all day long. I know the FA Cups can be a real money spinner for the club and whatever else, but playing at a higher level, better sides, we crowds, it works its way out in the end. So for me, it'll be promotion.
Yeah, the same. I think we've said it a few times. FA Cup hasn't been our greatest competition, and I think we think we're due a run in it, and we'd love to have a run in it. But the bread and butter, what we're about is we want to manage as high as we can, and as much as an FA Cup run would be great. That doesn't help you do that, I guess, apart from the revenue you might bring in. But no, it's got to be the league. It's always the most important thing. And
do you get any pressure from the chairman to say, look, you've been here 4 years, you haven't had a good FA Cup run?
All right,
is he tapping you? I told you I was going to give you a grilling. Is he tapping you on the shoulder going, come on, boys, just once in 5 years? Yeah,
yeah, all right. Listen, Steve's absolutely. But I'll always remember that our first year, when we got knocked out in the preliminary round at Cirencester after drawing at home on the Sunday, and we hadn't started great in the league, and it was. I think I remember walking into the bar and thinking, oh my God, and seeing Steve, and he just come up and you guys all right,
worried about how we felt rather than anything else.
Yeah,
says a lot.
Yeah, and so for that reason, I would love for us to get a run, an FA Cup run, but he doesn't sit there and put loads and loads of pressure on us. Of course, we all want to be successful, we all want a cup run, because we know the benefits it can have to a club like ourselves. But
it'd be great to pack this ground out as well, wouldn't it?
It would.
In maybe a first round game or something like that. That would be great. But we'll see. We'll do our best. We've got a big enough squad, as we've said, that we can maybe fight on a few different fronts this year. Maybe things like the League Cup and the Berks and Bucks can't take the same level of priority, but certainly League, Cup and Trophy, we want to do really well in all three.
What's the chance of getting drawn against Merthyr in the FA Trophy again?
More than likely. I think, was it 2 or 3 times in 5?
Is it 3 out of 4 now?
3 out of 4, I think. Yeah, hopefully not. I get on really well with Gavin Williams. We get on really well with him over at Merthyr, but ideally, I don't really want to be going down there and probably on a Tuesday night again. Getting them in the league on a Tuesday night's not ideal, but hey ho.
We have someone who said you're going to be leaving 2 players out of you've got an 18-man squad. 2 players each week are going to be sat, not even on the bench. Is it hard for you to manage that situation, or is it that you've got such a good spirit in the team that they realise it's not about the first 11 or the subs, it's about being a squad?
I think they do realise that. They realise that the squad is what's most important. But as much as you talk about that, players want to play, if we're honest, and there'll be 11 happy players on Saturday that are starting, and those that aren't won't be happy about it, and that's fine. I think we've got such a lot of games, particularly start the season. The games come thick and fast, and there's certain areas of the pitch where we're literally tossing a coin as to who to go with. It's so tight, and I think what we will do certainly is mix it around a little bit, because I think we have to, and I think we've shown in pre-season. I know they're only pre-season games, but I think we've shown that it hasn't affected us by swapping players in and out, and everyone's built a really good understanding. So we will have to rotate to a certain extent. But I think the position we're in now with no injuries is quite unusual. I don't think we've ever gone into a season with no injuries, and unavailable. It's a time, holidays, weddings, that sort of thing. We could easily have 3 missing Saturday, and then people will be looking at it saying, well, you can't even fill your bench when you've got 15 players. So getting the squad size right is so difficult, because you just can't predict what's going to come up in terms of injuries. But we're delighted with the squad we've got, and that's where we're just going to have to communicate well with the players and keep everybody involved. And if we don't get any injuries for a month, it might be difficult. We might have 1 or 2 upset players, but we'll have to just deal with that when we come to it.
And I think when we can get opportunities, if for example we've got 1 or 2 that aren't going to make the squad, and we feel that they could do with some minutes, then we'll try and facilitate that somewhere. And they're the things you have to do as a manager. It's not easy. You're always on the phone trying to deal with things, and it's tough. But listen,
that's where we want to be, isn't it? We've got 18. We genuinely got 18 starters in the squad. They could all start without a problem. We've never had that before. We've looked back at where we were a year ago, and we were nowhere near where we are in terms of the strength and depth. So that gives us confidence that we can go and have a good season.
I mean, on the fans forum, I know you two are both on there quite often. There's a question about the starting 11 for Kettering after tonight.
Yeah,
have you got that starting 11? I know number 1's obviously Jack Turner. Even I can pick him. But have you settled on that 11, or are you still going to be thinking about it till Saturday morning?
No, we'll probably talk in the car on the way home. We actually said in the car on the way up, there's probably 2 players that effectively could start and could be on the bench, and then that might dictate the rest of the side a little bit. So we said we would have a look in training and see how everyone was, but everyone was lively tonight. So we think we probably know where we are. It's going to be a couple of big decisions, but
it just goes to show, doesn't it? Like looking at, obviously we look at the forum and the amount of different opinions, and I don't think there was any 2 sides the same, and that's a good thing, I think, because it just shows we have got that strength in depth. And football's about opinions. I guess the only opinions that matter come Saturday are us 2 in terms of the team we pick, and if we win, then everyone will say we've got it right, and if we don't, then they'll say we've got it wrong, and that's just the life of a football manager. But hopefully we'll get it right more than we do wrong.
Are you going to change the team to combat some of the opposition?
Yeah, so you could say that. One position in particular. We've definitely picked a player for who he's going to be up against. I'm not going to.
I think I know, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, I mean we've definitely got that in mind.
We've got some very different types of players that might play the same position. So they might have one of them might be quicker than the other, one might be taller than the other, one might be physically stronger than the other, and we can then almost we look at we get to know these teams we're playing against quite well, and it's about just getting the balance right, and maybe in a couple of key positions getting the right one for that particular game. The team we pick on Saturday is not our best 11. We don't have a best 11, so and it
different on Tuesday.
Yeah, and it won't be about the 11 that have made it are our best 11 players. It's just not like that. It's we genuinely see people on a level, and it's about getting hopefully the right ones and the right balance for each game.
You mentioned you had 5. I'm not going to ask you who your 6th target was, but one of the questions was, if you had money, no object, who would you buy from this league?
Well, it's quite a simple one for me. It would be Craig Daniel to stop him from scoring against us. Craig Daniel from Biggleswade. Every time he seems to play against one of mine and John's teams, he seems to find a goal, and it'd probably be Craig just to stop him from scoring against us.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I to be honest, I'm pleased with what we've got, and it's a good question. For me, I genuinely think in certain positions in the team we've got players that are as good as anything in the league in their position. I guess I'm not really answering the question because I can't actually think of one. So
Craig Daniel.
Yeah.
One of the other questions that we got in was, you're quite an ambitious pair.
Yeah.
The chairman is obviously quite ambitious with how he sees the club and what he does. Do you see yourself, if everything goes right, in 5 years in the league? Because apparently, according to this gentleman, we are the 2nd biggest town in England with not playing league football.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's a massive place, Slough. I think it took me probably took us about 2 years to actually, know our way around it. It's that big. And listen, we're very ambitious. But we're not the type of guys that sit there and go, we should be managing in the football league now. And we're all about building ourselves and learning the level. And I think that we're good to. I think we develop well. I think we look at things. I think we take things on board. When we make mistakes, we try and rectify them. And I think bit by bit, we want to be improving the level we're at. And obviously the dream would be league football one day. The Cowley brothers are probably in our position, a few years back, and and this, on last Saturday they played league football for the first time and managed in league football. And so you never know. But for us, we see ourselves Slough for years. Obviously as long as the club will have us and Steve will have us, and we love being here, and we see real development here.
Yeah, the club doesn't want to stand still, and we don't want to stand still. So I guess it's up to us to take the club forward, and I think we've got, with this venue here and the backing of Steve, I think there's no reason why we can't do that, and we'd love it to be this year. I think this club's as big as anything in the league above. I think if we could get there and we just keep adding and building the support, I think we both think we're at the best club for us, and we just hope we can kind of repay Steve's faith and take the club further.
Cool. I want to finish with 5 different questions that aren't most probably Slough related or football related. Sporting heroes.
Blimey.
For me, massive Spurs fan. So growing up, Glenn Hoddle and then Gazza. They were my 2 big footballing heroes. And I guess in terms of other sports, I don't know really. It's a good question.
It didn't come from me either.
Are you struggling?
Someone said that you would say your dad.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, my
That's where the
dad
question-
was a big hero for me. You know, I grew up watching him from the age of 2 till he was playing. I think he was playing with John till he was 43. I think 44.
Team when he was in his 40s, so he was no hero of mine.
No, he was. Yeah, I mean, he was. To be honest, you're right. He probably was my sporting hero. You know, but then obviously you get people like your Bobby Moores and people like that as well. But yeah, probably my dad.
Again, this isn't one for me, but it said, who would play you in a Hollywood film of your meteoric managerial role?
I'm going to get in before Anders, because I know he's going to say James Corden. So I don't know why. Just maybe saying I'm a bit chunky, but
I guess for me it's got to be Vin Diesel.
See, now I've got Abbott and Costello from the old black and whites.
Okay, no.
But-
Vin Diesel and Corden.
Okay, I'm not going to say who that question came from.
Okay.
Favourite film?
Oh wow, we
Of
had
all
this
time.
conversation on on Tuesday night. We went bowling as a team, and we went for Nando's afterwards to a bit of a team bonding. And Matt Lynch come up with favourite films, and he was a little bit critical of one or two choices. Mine was between Remember the Titans, Denzel Washington. It's a Disney great film, and Shawshank Redemption. They were two of my favourites.
Yeah, I was Shawshank Redemption would be. It's a bit of an obvious one, but it is a great film, and Dumb and Dumber was the other one.
It sort of
I was
sums us up
gonna say,
nicely.
Favourite album?
Mine would probably be Queen's greatest hits. I love Queen. Probably one of those, or Dire Straits, Brother in Arms.
Oasis for me.
What's the story? More Than Glory?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's mine as well, I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
And the last one we've got is, if your house is on fire, but all your family and your pets are safe, you can go and get one thing from the house. What do you get? I mean, if we were doing this next year,
Bottle of gin, probably.
if we're doing this next year, you'd go and pick the Southern Shield up because you'd won that.
Absolutely. Well, it'd be a bit big, probably, to drag out. It's a big old trophy, isn't it?
Winners' medals, yeah. I don't think anything's that important. I think you can get by without anything. That's my my answer to that.
Probably my iPad.
There you go, gents. Thank you very much for joining us. It is a little bit late. They've turned off all the lights, but thank you very much. I wish you all the best for the season.
Cheers, Aid. Thank you very much.
You've got a fantastic squad here. You've got fantastic managers, and come April, I think we'll be top of the league.
Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so.
Thanks for your time, guys,
Cheers, Aid.
and
Thank you.
thank you very much. Cheers.